Let's go to tight end. Who you got in the top five?
So I got Travis Kelce, T.J. Hawkinson, George Kittle, Evan Ingram, and then Mark Andrews, number 5. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. I got Kelsey, Hawkinson, Kittle, Andrews, Ingram. So yeah, both same top five. Probably end up switching it. I mean, I could see Andrews dropping. He could end up dropping even outside the top five.
Yeah,
Looking at it, it's
just just based on recent play, at least
yeah,
Evan Ingram looks like just a beast right now. So that's why he snuck over. But yeah, it's been brutal for Mark Andrews since like what, week 4
yeah.
or week 6 or something, man.
All right, who you high on?
So Tyler Higbee, he's my tight end 9. He came back to life last week. The Rams went away from heavy 11 personnel. I don't know if that was more due to the blowout or just due to all the wide receiver injuries, but it was certainly nice to see for Higbee. He went off for 9 catches and 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had a 79% routes run rate. Probably would have been higher if it weren't for the blowout. So, like his upside this week, he's seen a 38% target per route run rate the past 2 weeks. So he clearly has good chemistry with Baker Mayfield. So against the Chargers this week, I think he's back inside, being a top 10 option.
Yeah, Higbee finally. I mean, the Broncos, man, it just keeps getting
Oh,
worse and worse.
I
Like,
wonder if now that they actually fired Hackett, if they, rally this week or something. But that was just one of the biggest implosions I've ever seen for a team.
yeah, it's funny. Yeah, because I think they were my money line dog pick on the action pod with Stucky,
Oh, nice.
he's been so hot on these money line dogs. I think he hit like 9 on the season, and he's like, nah, man, there's no way the Broncos are gonna like. There's no way the Broncos are blowing this against the Rams. And I'm like, I've seen it. I've seen this happen over and over, especially with Russ back, and of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, Akers, Higbee, they balled out. I am high on Evan Ingram. Just mentioned him, but
Yeah.
I think this Houston matchup is great for him. Indoors, Houston number 22 in DVOA on defense against tight ends, and Houston also allows the fewest targets per game to wide receivers. So there's something of a tight end running back funnel kind of defense. That makes sense. They play a lot of zone coverage. That's what you usually see. You have to check it down a little bit more, hit some of the underneath stuff. So Evan Ingram's been balling. 33 targets, 26 catches, 337 yards, and 2 scores over his last 3 games alone. So I think he has to keep it up. I think he keeps it up at this point. So love Ingram this week as a top 5 guy. Who you want?
I'm low on Darren Waller. He's my tight end 16 against the Niners. And, he did have a good game. He managed to go 4 for 58 in the rain, sleet, cold, whatever was going on in Pittsburgh. But he only had a 49% routes run rate. And so that's going to be tough for him to maintain this type of production with that kind of usage. And Devontae, only caught 2 passes for 15 yards. So have to figure he's going to break out as soon as this week, obviously, and that's going to come at someone like Waller's expense. Plus, this is a brutal matchup against tight ends. The 49ers ranked 5th in DVOA against tight ends. So I think if you have Waller and there's no better option, you're like streaming, you stick with him. But either way, I think you just need to lower your expectations. So he's my tight end 16 this week.
Yeah, and tough matchup too.
Yep.
I'm low on Juwan Johnson. I feel like I say this every week, but it's when this guy doesn't catch a touchdown, he's it's like I don't think he should be on that tight end 1-2 fringe. I think he should be like a turn like a clear tight end 2 because he only runs around about 2/3 of the time. He's averaging 2.6 catches a game, but he's caught a touchdown on 19% of those catches. So when you don't get a touchdown, which is like 8, there's most of his games, he's not getting a touchdown, or at least you wouldn't expect him to. He has gotten a touchdown in quite a few, but just based on his usage, you would expect a touchdown, 20% of the time or so, or 20 to 40% of the time, and he's just not doing that. In this matchup, I don't think the touchdown projection is that high, so got to go low on Juwan this week. Just not enough usage from week to week here to justify putting him up, close to the top 15.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And as always, he's a touchdown or bust guy. But the tight end streamer pool this week is really bad, and he's actually one of the top options. So in those cases, at least he does get the touchdowns occasionally. But if you look at the waiver wire, it's a brutal week for streaming tight end. So that's why He's probably going to be a popular ad this week, but certainly he shouldn't be inside the top 15.
Speaking of popular ads, let's go with Tyler Higbee.
Yes.
For the prop. Let's go receiving yards. Let's go 42.5.
Oh man, I have it at 41. So that's a good line. And that's with like 5 catches. So I'll go at the under, but I do think that's a good line. Just that, he has such a low A dot. Sometimes he can catch 5 or 6 balls and still be held under that. So I'll go under here.